Well, good day, all. Ira Epstein of Linn Associates with your metals market wrap-up, and this is for Wednesday, the 22nd of May, 2019, just getting on to 2:55 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I'm tired because you're not going anywhere in most of the metals. It was a pretty quiet day, with the exception, copper, beautiful down day today. Platinum, another big down day. You held steady in the gold and the silver markets. That's about all you can say on that. The dollar still acting strong, not running to the upside, but certainly not acting strong. And the pound getting some pressure on it to the downside, while the Japanese yen got a bid into it, as there's still plenty of uncertainty. The traders are watching. They're wondering about trade. There's not even talk about it. I got up this morning watching Steve Mnuchin, our Treasury Secretary, in front of the House Finance Committee, and it was on C-SPAN, so you're watching it. And when questioned how this deal's going, well, they're 30 to 40 days away from even talking to each other. So I think you can write off the early part of the summer. There's not even going to be trade talks. That's weighing on the market to a degree. In fact, it's weighing on everything. As long as the dollar stays strong, that sort of works against the gold. And then you had the Fed minutes today, and the Fed, well, they pretty well said to you, they're sitting pat. That's simple. A lot of these minutes, remember, when you read them, you have to understand the U.S.-Chinese trade talks were still on. Brexit, we thought maybe there could be a better resolution that is taking place. So if anything, global economics have gotten worse, not better. As we take a look at gold, we're down about $2 for the week, certainly nothing big, but we've stayed under this 18-week moving average, which keeps the bias of the market to the downside. When we take a look at prices on a daily bar chart, I'm looking right in this area, trying to figure out, is the market going to be able to get through that and start another leg to the downside, or is it going to run out of steam in this 1260, 1270 zone? That's what I'm watching at this point. In looking at the chart action, what we have is a higher high and a lower low. I don't see a trend. I see a market that went straight down from 1304 to 1269 and has had a feeble bounce at best. Should the market take out 1269, the question is, can it punch through that 1265 zone and start that other leg to the downside? You're under the 18-day average of closes. The bias is down. The Bollinger Band is right here at the 1267.60 level. Yesterday, you came down to the band, hit it, and you've held it since then. So it's sort of a wait and see what's going to happen next in the market. And at the same time, you're oversold. So those that want to get short have to sell into an oversold condition. That's how I'm looking at it, and into support of the Bollinger Band. On the other hand, trying to sell a rally, the question is why the trend isn't doing anything. The third thing is resistance, 1283.60. When I come over to GLD, the popular ETF, my eye goes to the fact that you're oversold. I was disappointed yesterday that you didn't hit the lower Bollinger Band, because this market, unlike futures, has been trending with lower highs, lower lows. That's still an open target, but when you're this oversold and that close, targets have a way of evading price. When we come to GDX, how many times are you going to hit this 18-day average of closes? That's the question. You are in a downtrend with lower highs, lower lows. The settlement today at 2037 is underneath, or going to be underneath, the 18-day average. That's bearish, and momentum is down. This market's re-entered the bear camp, is what I'm saying, targeting potentially the lower Bollinger Band at 2012 with resistance at 2059. The gold-silver ratio, well, it's giving back a little bit, which means silver's gaining back a little bit on the gold. Nothing material, but it's there. And you can see silver sort of ran out of downside momentum against the Bollinger Band, just sort of hanging in. But what I'm keeping my eye on are these numbers. Both numbers today were under 20. They were yesterday, too. If you get one more day of that, and you didn't have it on that day, they embed. Embed means you'll have converted the market from being oversold to locking in a downtrend. Tomorrow's an important day in silver. It normally doesn't embed, so it should try to give you a little bounce in it. In the copper market, is copper going to get to the lower Bollinger Band is now the question. You still have the embedded reading. I will still say, and have been saying, on rallies, I think the pros are waiting to sell this market. I think they'll cover a bit of their shorts between here and that lower Bollinger Band. In the platinum market, you have the embedded reading, which is very bearish. You've got a market riding the lower Bollinger Band, and another event could be getting ready. You might get a bearish crossover where the 18-day average of closes gets under the 100, and often, not the word always, often as a chartist, that leads to lower prices. In the palladium market, you're back into the downtrend, lower highs, lower lows, but you're right against support like so many of these other markets. Pretty much a sideways market. Even if you were to rally and get over this 32.90, you've got pretty big resistance right at the 100-day in the upper Bollinger Band. But going home, I'll give the bears the nod. They've taken control again of the market. And in the dollar index, we're back to the upper Bollinger Band. These numbers have been going sideways in it. We've got to see if the market can do anything. It's overbought. I'll stay with what I teach. I think the pros are taking money off the table right at that Bollinger Band. And one of the things that I do to keep up with these markets is I use what's called our QT Market Center. You have a mobile phone? Just about everybody does. This is a free app from us. And you're able to keep up with the futures, information, charts. If you have an account with us, you can trade right through it. My videos, they pop right up on it. So as soon as I put them out, if you're one of our people with a subscription, I put out a notice, bang, you just hit it and it plays. You don't even have to go to the area of it. It does have voice activation. It's pretty sophisticated. So you can say, show me the weather. And we're not talking about weather just in your locale. All those marks on the side show you the moisture content, what's going on where. It's meant for the grain markets. It's meant to give you weather ideas about energies and the like. For those of you in grains, crush quotes. For those of you in metals, it'll cover the oil. It'll cover the metals, any way you want to go, because you get to customize it. You can either use our preset quotes or you can put in your own custom with your own look. You can also choose what kind of news you want to get in it. So, works in many cool different ways. As I said, it's available as a download, by the way, from your iOS and Android stores. You can give us a call. You'll need a user ID and a passcode, so you can write us for your trial to this. We'll be happy to put you on, and away you go with it. You can also click right here. If you're watching me on YouTube, it'll take you to our carousel page where you sign up for all our free offers. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.